Hey everyone, welcome to another video review. This is the Magic Square, complete Constructicon set to form into Devastator. We're gonna, go over Devastator's combined mode, including how to get into it. Assuming you know how to transform all of this stuff into combined mode in the first place. So, counterintuitively, at least in my opinion, start things off. Yeah, you actually have to start at the top and go down rather than what I prefer to do, which go top, bottom, go up, but whatever. So we're going to go ahead and move some stuff out of the way for a second. Okay, you need to start with their Crane Master, which you need to hook on, well, the arms first. This is one thing you have to do. See, so you have this all prepared, right? Hopefully you saw the, the video with the, the transformation and stuff. Yeah, flip that forward and you got to, insert this in, and then when you insert that in, what's going to happen after that is you have to then, bring this down, and that's going to lock into place. It should. Hopefully you didn't knock anything out of alignment. Should lock into place right there, and then bring this, and then to help solidify that, and you can rotate this down, and hopefully you got it all right. Yeah, like that. That's one arm. This also, again, this all should be undone, ready to go. And then go ahead and take this piece and just slide that in. Like that. And then you go ahead and from there, bring this back up to lock it into place. This around and close this up, and that will lock that very securely into place for the combined mode. And then you go ahead and slide this whole assembly back in. So, and that will all be locked into place and right there. Then you go ahead and take the, the crest, the shield, chest crest, and all that stuff, and because this will latch over this tab, and these will a couple tabs on here which go into this slots on the front and everything. You just got to line it up properly. And also, I'd also recommend very much getting the arms just kind of out of the way like that, just to make things a little easier. Go ahead and just get it all squared away. Will help lock things in place, and bring this down and make sure to push it here to push it down, and then also at the back, make sure to push it down at the back as well, right underneath the head. Otherwise, people seem to think there's a gap there when otherwise there actually shouldn't be. If there's a gap when you put this on, then you did something wrong. Make sure that's all secured, and these just make sure these are kind of off to the side and out of the way for a bit, right? Now, okay, so this is the hard part. For some people. So these pegs on here have to go in these holes, right? And a lot of people have complained that this is difficult to do. That basically the pegs are too big for the holes. I find that what happens is it just kind of needs to be broken in. A lot of people resorted to shaving the pegs down and whatnot. I don't think that's a good idea. I found that the first time it's really difficult to get them all pushed together, but after that they break in, and eventually they're able to go in and out fairly easily, but without too much worry about things like completely coming apart real easy. You don't want it super loose, so that's why I would say I would actually recommend not shaving them down. I would personally just say just go ahead and just except the first one or two times is going to be a little more difficult, but after that it gets significantly easier. So yeah, go ahead and get this peg right here, and this peg will go in those holes. Make sure to line them up and give it a good push. And also this tab right here on the bottom of the crest will go into this slot right here on the grill. Make sure to give it a good push. Yeah. Once you've done it a couple times, it usually starts to go in a lot easier overall. All right, that's all well and good there. Now, right here, this will tab. There's a tab here which will go into a slot here on the load master. Now, just slot in. Should. Sometimes it's a little finicky. There we go. And on this side, this will kind of slot in. This will slot in. There's this tab here, or a slot here, which will go, this tab right here will go into. And that, like that, and that will help secure things even more. And then more secure stuff right here. There's a tab here on this thing, which will go into the hip skirt on Crane Master right there. And then finally these tabs right here will go up into these slots up here, like so. Make sure it's all lined up properly. And that, once you got that all lined up, give it a push. Probably go ahead and support this right here. Make sure it doesn't want to. This part right here needs a bit of support just so it doesn't, you know, sink in and everything. And there you go. That's pretty much the backpack stuff done, and well, most of it done. And now, as well, the easy part, the legs. This one's easy. Just go ahead and split this apart, and then this T-tab will go inside there. Let's go in and squeeze that back together, and that's one leg done. And then this side, what you're going to go ahead and do is unpeg that and bring it down, and then this will slide into this slot right here. Slide into that slot, and then you bring this back up and peg it in to, I guess, somewhat secure it, although, again, not super well. And then, got it all secured. Last thing you gotta do, bring the arms back down. Rotate the head around and raise it up so you can see the neck. And there you go. There's their Devastator. They once again did not give their combined mode a name, which annoys me. But yeah, that's Devastator. The Magic Square Devastator, and yeah, it looks really nice. You can see, you know, it's pretty solid overall. It does a little bit of parts forming stuff, you know, or I guess pants forming right here, but it's not as egregious as New Age's thing. And you get a bit of backpack, but you know, it's Devastator. You're supposed to have a bit of a dump truck backpack. It's just kind of how his thing. You can, of course, collapse the crane to make that a little bit better for display. All that stuff. Looks pretty good. I mean, you can kind of see his face poking out, but not too bad. You can turn that around if you want. I didn't bother. Yeah. Overall, real nice. You know, you got all that stuff. You got the green with some, you know, some mold detailing there on the legs and the hips and stuff. You got a little bit of mechanical detailing underneath that translucent piece. Some people don't really like that translucent piece. I think it's great. I'm going to put a outline Decepticon symbol right there. That's my thing right there. Yeah, just looks generally really nice. You got the cool reflective red goggles instead of that weird pyramid head. Pyramid head. Yeah, looks real good. The only thing is getting him to stand correctly, I guess. He's actually stable, but it's weird because there we go. It's just weird because the way some of the joints work, some of the joints are looser than others in such a way that it's like, Looks real nice overall. I really like it. It does, of course, come with a couple accessories. Oh yeah, and all the guns can, you know, they still have the peg holes and stuff, so you can put Crane Master's right there, and his gun there, and his gun there, and his gun there. His gun's already in there, and his I don't know what to do with his, because the problem is the holes are in there now, so I don't know where to put that gun specifically, because yeah, the peg hole I used is in there now, so it's like you have to just, I don't know, just throw the gun in the dump truck, I guess. I don't know. That's the only thing I can think of is possibly, but yeah, a couple accessories, one of which a couple which of course are the drills, which are pretty easy to swap on. You just make sure to bend the elbow forward so you can open that up and flip the fist in, and then you got a peg and there's a hole there, and bam, no launching action like the original toy, but hey, you can have a drill fist, you know, pierce the heavens, all that stuff. Of course, he's got his gun, which, you know, came with this set C, which, you know, has tabs on the handle, which go into little slots on the hand, which the hands are mirror molded. So there's also if you notice, there's a ball joint socket right there on the bottom because of the same hand backwards. So that's why I have two tabs. So yeah, you can just put the gun in the hand, just tab it in the top tab of whichever hand you're putting it in. Whichever hand you're putting it in, just put in the top tab if you can. There you go, line it up. I think because of the shape of the forearms, he has to kind of hold a specific way, or else he doesn't quite like to go in properly. But yeah, you can hold the gun actually pretty well once you get it, you know, situated. But yeah, it's actually pretty good grip. Nice, nice right there. Yeah, pretty nice. Pretty nice indeed. I really like this mode because it's nice and bulky. That's the thing. That's my big thing about New Age is like I probably wouldn't find if this didn't exist, I probably wouldn't find with the New Age version, and kind of just grousing a little bit about the fact that pretty much the entire torso is a whole separate part. But because this exists, I actually really like it a lot more. Again, this is also, I feel the New Age one is just kind of skinny looking because it's really trying hard to go for the animation thing. This still looks like the animation, but I guess different frames of animation. Yes, I know technically New Age is a little closer to the, I guess, the base design that they're supposed to be the correct one, but I find this overall just looks better. That's just me. All right. Supposability, though, actually really good. He's got a swivel here. Just a swivel there, and he's got another hinge there so he can look up and down. Also mostly up, though. That's a thing. And also on the head there, this face can be replaced. He's got a second face. Right now he's got the kind of just stern face. He's got a second screamy face, which that's somewhat easy to swap. You gotta pull this face off. And don't drop it. And then there's a couple tabs on the head, which just line up with a couple slots on the face. And just go ahead and there's also even a outline for the face too. So you just push that on, and there you go. Now he's upset. Yeah, the only other face option he has there is there's only 2 total. Yeah, that was the thing. His shoulders can do a full 360 on both of them, and they're actually pretty tight too. So they're not drooping or anything. They're pretty tight. They go outward, both about that far. Slightly different, but yeah, they're about that far because between just the molding on the actual arm pieces. The bicep swivel is down here, right at the connection point for both of them. The elbows, I'm going to get the gun out of the way here for this. The elbows are double hinged. There's double hinges at the elbows, one right here and one right here. In fact, this is the one you have to move if you want to compress the hand back into the arm. But yeah, so because of those, you can get a pretty decent curl. You just kind of have to, finagle a little bit, and you get a pretty decent curl out of that. Not a full curl because of the molding, but hey, pretty good curl right there. Hands. Hands are on a swivel, wrist swivels right there. You got a ball joint at the base of the thumb, so you can get it there and rotate the thumb around and all that. You got a hinge there, so you can give a thumbs up. Although it's a weird looking thumbs up, but you can do it, or you can just do the, again, kind of weird looking thumbs up, but it's kind of the unfortunate imitation. Fingers. Each are on hinges, multiple hinges, 2 hinges, one there at the base and one mid knuckle. So you got, that bend, and actually I think that's a ball joint in the base. And you got a hinge there, so you got that. And of course, because of the ball joint, you got a bit of splay. Not a whole lot, but enough, I think, to look good. That's a pretty good splay. And of course, I guess the fingers can rotate if that's somehow useful. You can rotate the finger a bit, although that's going to look weird. So you got a decent amount of posability there in the hands as well. Waist can swivel, although it's a little limited thanks to, the backpack. It's a little limited, but, I don't think it's enough to be concerned. And if you really, really need to go swivel farther, you can engage the ab crunch, which it's a multi-hinge thing. There's a base hinge there, and there's another hinge there if you want to, I guess, extend this up too. Really, because yeah, it's the way it's hinged and stuff, you can really pull the hip plate off. You can really bend it a lot. On top of that, because of that, yeah, when you do that, you get more waist swivel. Well, you can actually get the full 360 if you extend the ab joint all the way. So that's a thing. Now here at the hips, of course, the hip skirt's getting out of the way on the front and sides, but not on the back, because the way the back is asked for that thing. The back is what it is. So you got a nice actual ratchet at the hip there, which is pretty nice. It's kind of limited, at least at the initial point. You got an outward ratchet, which goes about that far out. Maybe that far out, yeah. that much out there. And then you got that weird, I guess it's a fig arts thing of a second joint right there, which can go way down, so you can do well, really high kicks, which is actually pretty nice. You can do really high kicks, but you know, just don't look down there. It also limits, you know, frees up some of the posability on the hips as well. You do have a thigh swivel right there, which is nice. No, just friction there. Knees, the knees. On a lot of people's they're loose. Mine are. This one's fine. This one's kind of loose. You can see that. This one's all right, but this one definitely. But yeah, the knees. There is a double joint there. But yeah, thanks to molding and whatnot, you can you get about that much range thanks to mold, at least in that leg. On this leg, it's a bit more on this leg, so that's something. Also, they can slide out a bit if you need that, for whatever reason. Also for something else, I think. That's the thing. And then ankles, you got about that much range on each of them for ankle movement. There's no side to side, or you also got a bit of actually outward angle, I guess, if you need to do that. But there's no real up and down or anything. It's just, yeah, side to side. But I think it's a pretty good amount of articulation for collapse. Yes, you did. He collapsed on me. Whatever is standing funny. Yeah, so that's a pretty decent amount of articulation there. A couple other things, of course, he came in the package, at least. I'm not sure if this is going to be a permanent thing or if it's a first run thing or what, but it looks like it's going to be permanent, which is he came with a bunch of alternate parts. He came with set C here. And they are for pretty much down here. What you do is, well, first you will remove this hip plate. And it makes it look more like a Studio Aux style, which I prefer personally. This hip plate, which has a little more gray and some red on it. And you replace the hip plate right there. Now, it sits a bit higher, you notice. Then you got to come down here to this purple pit. You want to get the hips out of the way in such a way that you can do this. And this right here, this slides right here. Slides off. And then you take this piece and just pull it off on that side. You can put that off to the side and all that stuff. And then go ahead and remove this. It's just tabs in. Notice it's also kind of loose sometimes, but yeah, you just tabs in, so you can just slide this forward and off. And then you replace that all with this. This gray piece sits higher is a thing, which is why you don't need the purple piece. You can't really combine that purple piece with the gray part. But then you take this purple piece, which comes down here, and this is a hole here, and this has a peg, and you just go ahead and peg that in. Like so, and that's a different look right there. And do the same thing on this side. Slide this up right there. Slide this out. Like so. Slide that off. And bring this thing on. And well, yeah, basically these ones are actually important which one you put on. If they have a cutout here for the hip thing on this side and nothing on that side. So yeah, make sure that the cutout's on the inside. Otherwise it won't go on. You'll go sitting there. Why is it sitting funny? Peg this in. Unlike the green piece. The green ones, it doesn't matter which leg you really put on. At least not supposed to, but at least not by molding. I did notice that one of them was a little loose if I put it on the wrong leg. Yeah, that's the Studio Aux look, which I greatly prefer. Granted, I don't think it's not unlike their Menasor. I don't think it's bad. The cartoon look is bad looking. It actually looks really good. I just think this looks better. You know, it's just, this is personal preference. I think this looks better. The cartoon look, there's nothing wrong with it in my opinion. It's actually a good look too, but this actually looks much better. I prefer the breaking up with the gray and stuff. For the gray breaking up the colors a little bit, so I prefer this one. You can use these pieces with the green ones as well. It just kind of makes them a little taller and makes it more or less permanent, extends the knees. So that's just a personal preference if you like, but yeah, that's a thing. So yeah, that's a posability and well, that's the accessories, the X ones, and this way I'm going to have them is with these parts. Now, as a point of comparison, here is Magic Square's Menasor. And you can see he's a bit taller. Again, it's a weird thing of some people prefer Devastator to be the same size, all the combiners. Other people prefer maybe a little bit taller because it was 6 robots versus 5. So I think this is still a good scale overall. He's still a bit taller, but you know, he is 6 robots. So it kind of makes sense to me, you know, just being a bit taller. I also had a friend of mine 3D print a thing to hold this together because it was getting all floppy. Yeah, so look good together, in my opinion, overall. I'm going to have to sticker him up with some Decepticon symbols, but yeah. There's that. Now kind of the short one of the, I guess, Legends class combiner, which is, yeah, the Iron Factory War Giant, who's not so giant anymore. He is significantly shorter than either of them, so, yeah, it's unfortunate he's a bit shorter, so it's likely, it's like, okay, gotta get another Broadcast. Oh no, gotta get another one of my favorite combiner. What do I do? Yeah, I still like this guy, though. Just very stylized. And I guess Magic Square's, Nemesis Prime, just for, I guess, sense of size there, just to scale. Yeah, that's a thing. And here he is with the knockoff G1 Devastator, and I'm definitely not recording this after I filmed this because I totally forgot to do it earlier. So yeah, overall, I really like this guy a lot. It's a really nice combiner overall feel. There's a whole thing that some people complain about the color matching. Set A doesn't quite match with set B and C. I think that the colors pretty much in person are fine. They are not different enough to really be an issue. It's so minute that it's not really a problem if you're really anal about it. They look good. Overall, it's just both those cartoon and studio aux styles look really good, and you can't really go wrong with either of them. I think personally, I like the transformations and stuff, including the combination. I know some people are kind of iffy about it. Particularly, a lot of people feel like combining Crane Master and Load Master is hard. I don't find that to be the case. I think generally it just looks good. It's solid. It's real solid. Like, that's one big thing, is it's solid and feels like it's not going to come apart anytime soon. The only thing is, yeah, on mine is one loose knee. A lot of people reported the knees on the combined mode are kind of loose, and I kind of find that's disappointing, but that's a little easy. That might be possible to fix with screw tightening and also, of course, floor polish. But, yeah, overall, it's a solid combiner. It's really fun to play with, and it looks good, and it poses well, and it just I generally like it, and I think it's absolutely worth checking out if you haven't already. And it's one of those things. This is one of those things where it's like, oh, a lot of people are going, oh wow, this Devastator looks really good. I'm going to go ahead and just check it out. I'm not into Legends at all. I'm going to just go check out this one. Just this one, they say. And then, yeah, the Legends rabbit hole runs deep and ensnares all. Yeah, because I'm starting to get really into Legends stuff too. So, yeah. That's it, I guess, for this one. I just really like and definitely think overall it's worth it. It's about $80 to $100 per set. So anywhere from $240 to $300 for the full thing. I think it's a really nice set, and just is worth the money. I think it just overall, just even if you're not into Legends, it's a good Devastator. So I think it's the better of the two on the market right now. I genuinely think it's better than the New Age version overall. And it's also definitely version than the DX9 Hulky. Definitely better than that thing. I almost bought that, and I'm kind of glad I didn't now. Yeah. Check it out if you can. So that's it for this one. I hope you found it informative and entertaining. I hope you like, comment, and subscribe. Check out my Twitter. I'm at Nemesis Prime 1, and check out my coffee and my Patreon. And I'll see you next time with another video review.